So I thought I'd just do a video. You probably can't see my face, but I'm out here. So let's get this straight. So the last 6 months, the government has basically declared medical martial law on places everywhere to some degree, and they want to inject you with something like coming. Like it's not even over yet. I was watching these videos in Australia, Victoria, a really good guy standing up in Melbourne. There's a bunch of guys standing up in Melbourne, just flagrantly civil disobedience. Not a lot, which is too bad. But yeah, and the cops are just harassing them. And I'm thinking, I just had this thought. I was like, if this doesn't go down in history as one of the darkest hours of our civilization, since the digital revolution, I don't know what is. Really what is. Like, the government has basically destroyed all your businesses, made everybody deprive their brain of oxygen. Like, they have successfully brainwashed hundreds of thousands, millions and millions of people that they need to feel to wear a mask. So these people are always in a constant state of hypoxia, because it's like one of the questions that the guy, he claimed he had a medical exemption to this mask after he was arrested, and he's wearing it on his face, and he's saying, take it off. Why are you putting a mask on when I've said I've had a medical exemption? And they just fucking threw a mask on him. And I hope he sues the shit out of Victoria Police, man. Like, what they're doing is the worst, and it's all being caught on film. And now they want to fucking inject you with something, guys. Like, the Canadian government has already bought a syringe for every single person. They said that like 2.5 months ago at the beginning of this thing, at the beginning of the script, they said, oh, this will be the new normal until we find a vaccine. Like, it's just so globalist scum, right? It's just the biggest worldwide conspiracy sellout of practically by governments. This shit can't last forever, it can't last forever, because Almighty God, one day will destroy everything, or have it destroyed, his demigods. Lord Shiva is actually in the mode of destruction. It's just the consequences of living in this time and age. But watching it, like, how much more kind of medical tyranny, like, would they go from here? Now they're injecting people. It's like, well, I guess probably World War II was worse, back with all that Nazi shit in the Nuremberg trials. It's like, they flagrantly violate all of these human rights and laws on the books. Like, it just totally, like, they are the criminals. Like, this is turned into a criminal organization, gang that has seized power, and they've done just like soup. You can't even guess, nobody saw this coming, I don't know. It's got to go down as the darkest hour in civilization up until what we know. So I think, they've already convinced all these people to, deprive their brains of oxygen, and they've, and all the other crap. It's pretty easy pickings from here on out. But I was trying to find some positives in this too. Like, I always try and look at stuff from both sides of the coin. And the only benefits to this is probably the less drinking and drugging. Maybe that's going on as much, maybe not, but I think that would be one spin-off, is less people getting alcoholized. I could be wrong. They're probably just doing it on their couch at home. But because in a Vedic society, like, if you look back thousands of years, Like, it was pretty, I think it would be pretty normal for a king to be pretty tyrannical. Like, and have certain, I mean, I guess the Muslim countries and all that were like that for a long time. With liquor store sales and veiling their women. It's kind of like a period by that, but it's a small comparison. It's not like, this was always done for the good of the people or for religious reasons, or, which can be equally as crazy, I guess. But medical martial law, that's like the new Stasi religion of atheism, because most people are now atheists or agnostics, meaning they don't know what to think. So invaded civilization, I'm sure that there were different kings and stuff like that did, but they were genuinely truthful to their people in most ways, so for me, trying to rationalize, like, I have to find rationalizations for this stuff too, because I had to go out and do stuff today, and I wore a mask the whole time because I didn't want to at the first I was very hard. I was, but I was dealing with the government today. I had to go renew my driver's license and shit like that. And, I just didn't want any fucking headaches. I don't want these people. So I had to be they've already got me like this much conditioned. And the next conditioning is the vaccine, right? The DigiPass, the COVID pass, fucking all that crap Bill Gates is talking about. So that you don't want to give into. I mean, fuck. They use the most disgusting stuff. Anybody who's listening to this video probably already knows the problem with vaccines. They're very dangerous. My body is already torn up from ciprofloxacin. I've had pretty major pharmaceutical reactions in my life. Once to Accutane, once to Propecia, like finasteride. Once to ciprofloxacin as being the worst that I'm still dealing with after 4.5 years. Just like mitochondrial disease now. Some kind of weird disease that I live with, induced by that antibiotic. For many people it's permanent, and I know why. That's not shit you guys want to mess with. And every vaccine causes damage. I mean, undeniably. Like, I was trying to tell a young person the other day, just on the Talk app, I said, look, like, reasonably, really think about the concept of provoking your immune system. Because if you really think about it from a clear lens, that when you've suffered a little bit of pain, that the whole idea of provoking your immune system, like, intentionally is ludicrous. But it's just another sidearm of the propaganda machine. It's like some kind of quack theory brought up, when they didn't have stuff. So they had some idiot had to think up something. Now, I don't know about the full effectiveness. Maybe some of them work, but I mean, for the wide scale, the amount of fraud and cover up and unnecessary ones that they do is just, everybody knows it's a scam now. But they've imported so many people from faraway countries here in Canada that these people, they're under the government's thumb. Like, they probably think that they could. I've seen young, like, it's just Canadian culture's finished, man. It's over. There's too many people here from different cultures to keep this like an Indo-European type of society. It's going to turn into some kind of third world, possibly. Don't know, because that's how their countries are, I mean, I guess you can take the country out of the people, but in a way, but at the same time, you can't take the commie out of the communist. You know what I mean? Like, if you import a bunch of communists, I mean, they're still communists. They're going to vote like a communist, So, who knows? Government's all just a fracture of a splinter of the total reality. There's so many. That's the thing too. People don't know, about the arts that God offers. There's 64 arts to self-realization mentioned in the Vedic literatures, and singing, chanting, dancing, painting, makeup, dress up, art, painting, all this creative stuff, weaponry, archery, martial arts, writing, the art of poetry, linguistics, politics is one, philosophical, economic, sociological, understanding all these concepts of art is, that's how you can zone out. But this one is so perturbing, and so, because it's always trying to affect your life in different ways. And they're literally in your face. When you wear a cloth over your mouth, it's like wearing a flag, in a way. I heard a story about some teacher who get Black Lives Matter fired for wearing some mask, And I can see how the young people are sympathetic to Black Lives Matter. I think because we were all rebellious teenagers. That's why this shit exists. It's just a form. Just give it to them. At this point, just let them have it. It's just it's something that you can't stop. But even the duality of it, especially how all these police are bowing down to BLM and totally tyrannical on people who want to keep their freedom, like not fucking restricting their breathing every time they got to go access services and take a vaccine, that they've openly said, it's like, oh, what are you going to do with all those syringes you bought, Justin Trudeau? Like, you expect us all to take them, you must. So, and he's at the throne of the speech meeting the other day. They're all sitting there in their masks. Like, it was so repulsive. The whole thing was just repulsive, man. It was such a clown show that I've never seen. It's so funny how the world can throw you the funniest curveballs, like just things you would never expect, just to fucking change everything so quickly. And it's on such a global scale now. That's another thing I wondered about the Vedic government thousands and thousands of years ago. I think that they did rule like whole planets at the same time. That could be a symptom of that. Like, there is one world ruler. I don't think is such an old. I mean, it's possible in other civilizations. These people were titans. I love watching all those videos on YouTube of like Brian Forrester, his pyramid. There's another really good one, Uncharted X. He's a really good one on YouTube. And how all these pyramids are lined up geographically with all these points of latitude and longitude, and how that all came together. It was probably some energy system. Imagine they had just had huge beams of electricity going from temple to pyramid to temple. Who knows? It could have just been a ball of electricity. Why not? It's probably like a giant molecule, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this earth. I'm pretty up here. Anyways, that's all I got right now, so